Honestly, you guys are awesome. And I am really excited to get to show everybody what you guys built, because I know for a fact they are going to come running to you guys to be like, please build this for me as soon as they see what's going on. Hey everyone, so welcome back to another episode of Techo Talks. So today, actually, I'm so excited. I want to show you guys the coolest thing that I have found in PARDOT thus far. Now, this totally could have existed for a really long time, and maybe I hadn't worked in PARDOT for a while, and so I was like, oh my God, when I saw it, I was like, that is what everybody needs when it comes to them trusting what their marketing campaign is going to do. All right, now let me repeat that. Pardot is a marketing platform. So it's all about sending people emails. It's all about tracking who opens those emails. Did they click on any link in the emails? Have they filled out a form? Have they reached out to you on your website? Have they reached out to you on other social media platforms? Marketing covers so many bases, but when you finally get all of your marketing like plan in place, then all of a sudden you're like, all right, now how do I make sure it's going to work? And that's always a really tough question with marketing, because the only way to double check is to test it, see actually how it does. Marketing is a giant science experiment. But what if on at least, even if you don't know if your marketing content's going to work, but you do know for sure that your automations are going to work, and that no matter what happens, you can trust what data you're collecting. So if you know that for a fact, then all of a sudden your marketing data becomes extremely useful and valuable. Now, I just also, before we jump into my computer and I show you what I'm talking about, shout out to the team that I work with that has been, that created this. And that is Daryl, Patrick, Darren, and Nelson. Honestly, you guys are awesome. And I am really excited to get to show everybody what you guys built, because I know for a fact they are going to come running to you guys to be like, please build this for me as soon as they see what's going on. So let's hop in my computer. I'm going to show you guys what they built and how to test it and why that's the coolest thing ever. and then we'll talk about how, if you have Pardot and you don't know how it works, or you're kind of scared of it, or you're like, wow, that was really cool, I want that, then I'm going to tell you how you can get this for yourself. All right, let's dive in. All right, guys, so we are in our Pardot right now, and we are also in a campaign. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole thing, this whole beautiful thing. All right, there we go. So as you can see, there is a start and there are multiple branches, and we will dive into all of these, don't worry, and multiple paths by which someone can travel down. And that is marketing. Everybody goes their own journey. You do want to define one journey that everybody's going to go down, but how everybody goes through the journey is going to be different. For instance, this is a 3-series email campaign where we are trying to track whether or not somebody clicked the link in the email. Now, of course, just because they don't open email number 1 doesn't mean they couldn't open email number 2. And that's where the marketing testing is going to come into place for which email is actually doing the best, getting the best engagement, best response rate. But you have to define all the paths, because, you know, for me, I probably would be that really annoying person that didn't open it till the last possible day for email number 3. So, you know, we have to account for those folks, because just because they're not going to open it till email number 3 doesn't mean we don't want to allow them their timeline for opening our emails. When it comes to talking to your audience, it's not on your terms, it's on theirs. And so this path, or this whole entire journey, outlines any number of paths that someone could go on. Now, before we go through the test mode, which is just the coolest thing, I love it. Let's first talk about what happens at each of these, on each of these branches really fast, and then we'll go into the test mode. So first thing is, anybody that gets added to the complete announcement campaign will get added in this engagement, meaning all the people that are in it currently, in addition to everybody who has yet to be added, everybody will go through this email, this 3-series email campaign. So it's not just by setting this up, it's not just something that's going to be active right now. It's something that's going to be active ongoing until we turn it off. So, and that doesn't mean that it can't change and grow and evolve over time, but that's just the reality, is that it's a campaign that you can not set it and forget it, because then you have to look at your ROI and you have to do your analytics on it. But you can set it and forget it in the sense that, okay, I know that if I send people to this link or they sign up with this form, then I've already set them up to automatically go through my email campaign. So I can show them a little bit about what's going on and try to get them to take the next step with me, because that could come in any way, shape, or form for any type of business. This is for profit, nonprofit, whether or not you're in the business of making money for yourself or making money in the name of others. You're going to have to talk to your audience. Whoever is funding that dream or funding that ambition wants to talk to you. And this is one way to do it. An engagement studio is very robust. You can do a lot in here. So this is just actually, that's what I'll show you at the end. Show you a more complicated version of this, very simple. So what we're doing here is, first thing, we are sending an email. And then after the email is sent, we are asking it to make a decision. Did somebody click the link, and that link, specifically that link in the email? So send email 1, and then if they did click the link, then they go this way. They get added to a new Salesforce campaign, meaning this is somebody who has shown interest and this is somebody we want to talk to, and we are updating their status so that to interested, right? And then that would be the end of the journey for this person. That is best case scenario. First email, first click, they do this, they do that, we then do this subsequent thing. But of course, you have to account for the folks that don't do everything on the first go around. Procrastination is real. So if they do not click the link, then they are sent email number 2, and the same decision tree happens. Did they click this link out of this email? Then if yes, they go down the exact same path as over here. And if no, then they go to email number 3. Now you can see where I'm going with this, because email number 3 is going to behave the exact same way. The one difference is if they don't click the link for email number 3, this is not somebody we never want to think about ever again. This is just somebody who has not shown any interest in this content, this style, whatever you are doing in this particular engagement. Now, what I'm doing with the folks that show no interest in this particular case is adding them to a retargeting catch-all list, meaning there could be any number of folks in there for any number of reasons. We provide Salesforce services. So, maybe I'm talking to them about PARDOT and they're like, we don't even have PARDOT. So if I was talking to them about nonprofit cloud or sales cloud or service cloud, they might all of a sudden go, oh, hey, you are talking about something that I use. Versus right now, if you don't have PARDOT, then you're like, well, this is kind of, in theory, cool information, but not necessarily useful. So just because somebody doesn't respond to your marketing content it just means you're not saying it just means you're not saying something that resonates with them. They're not responsive to what you're currently saying. So you have to change what you say. And only by testing that are you going to figure out what's really working and resonating with people. That's just a little marketing insight for you on that. Everybody gets discouraged by marketing, but marketing, the faster you fail and the more you know what doesn't work, the closer you are to figuring out what is and what will work. So after you get added to the retargeting list, you also get added to the retargeting campaign. And in the campaign in which sent them through this email, you get updated with the status of didn't open. So not only are we tracking them in a future sense where we say, okay, now because you didn't like this, we're going to put you in this bucket so later we can talk to you about something else. And we're also going to mark on our current circumstance that they did not respond to this particular piece of content. That does not mean you couldn't revamp it and try to send them through again. Totally possibility. But as of this marketing journey, we have taken account for everyone, for every scenario, whether or not they're actually clicking the link, because that's the important part of this marketing adventure. This is all about, okay, we're sending them emails. did they click the link? Because by clicking that link, it's showing interest in what we're talking about. So that's how we're going to differentiate the people we want to follow up with, and then the people that have not shown any interest in what we're going to do with those folks. So every branch, you know, because again, I'm the person that would open email 3, and I know a whole bunch of folks that I work with that would be the ones that open email 1. Excuse me. So that is a total per person thing, and you can't, and marketing needs to account for all the types of folks that you're going to be talking to about this topic everybody has in common. So without further ado, I want to show you guys the coolest test on the planet. Now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you one route. Now, I would encourage you to do if you do have PARDOT, if you are setting something like this up, is that you test all the branches. You double check that every single path is exactly what you want it to do. But for the case of this particular video, let's not have me waste hours of your time testing all the branches. What we're going to test is somebody gets sent email number 1, but they do not click the link on email number 1. We're going to be better than me, so we're going to click the link on email 2, but we're going to watch this test of the journey of not clicking email 1, but yes, clicking email 2, and show you how you can test every single branch and style. And honestly, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen, because back in the day, we used to have to test these in a very different way. And this is just one of the coolest things. If you want to know for a fact that your marketing is going to function the way you exactly need it to, then this is, like, without a doubt, the coolest thing I've ever seen. So as I said, we're not going to click the link on email 1, but we are on email 2. So let's begin our test. So as you can see, engagement started, email sent, and then it says custom redirect link. Did they click the link? Nope. So what that means is then they get another email, and then it's like the next question, did they click the link? It also maps out timeline here. So when you say wait 2 days to see if they click the link, this is also telling you exactly how long into the process, given how much time you've defined, because this is exactly what we used to have to do. Is we used to have to make a copy of the engagements and then shorten the timeline so that we could test through exactly how everything worked with timing. But this is telling you how this timing will play out in real life. I'm not even kidding you. It's the coolest thing ever. But as we said, they are going to click the link on number 2. So yes. And then that means they are added to the campaign. And then this second one is updating the status. So it's going to come up in the same bucket, but it is updating the status, and then ended. So it's telling you exactly what happened, the order of go. It's confirming with you the exact things you want to happen, and in the timeline that it would have happened in real life. I can't even tell you how valuable this is, given how this used to work. So I hope that you are as excited about this as I am, because man alive, when my team showed me this, I was like, wow. When I first started using PARDOT, it was a dinosaur compared to this. So I just have to give a shout out to all the people who work on upgrading the user interface of PARDOT itself. So I hope you enjoyed this test as much as I did, because guess what? The test was a success. Now, of course, you can test this as many times until you're blue in the face. And I would encourage you, if you ever build one of these for yourself, to test every single branch, every single route somebody could go down. And actually, since we are in this conversation, I'll go ahead. This is a simple one. I will go ahead and show you my, of course, the pseudo version of that particular one is not only listening for link clicks, but also listening for email opens. So this version, what I'm calling the pseudo version, is it wants to know if you opened the email but didn't click the link. Now, the difference between the first one I showed you and this one that I'm showing you, the first one is only after did you click the link or not, meaning did you take the call to action identified. This one is did you open the email And did you click the link? What this does by expanding it into those two decisions, it creates so much more complexity. Don't even pretend like this is simple, but what it's doing is it's testing all the phases of the marketing, because if you're testing for if an email was opened or not, that is testing whether or not your subject line is working. If you're testing whether or not a link was clicked, that is testing your email content. So by testing both stages, those are both decisions, those are both actions. By testing them separately, by identifying them separately, and also tracking them separately, you're testing for more marketing touch points. Versus if you're only testing on the link click, you're bucketing your email open with your link click. Now, that's not, different campaigns serve different purposes. Now, for this one, this in particular campaign is about a new launch of a new product. So I am very curious, actually, at which point people are going to be responsive. Now, are they, because at the end of the day, we could come up with the results of they're not even opening the emails. We could come up with they're reading the emails, but they're not clicking any links. Or it could be, okay, they're reading the emails, they're clicking the links, and we're creating a whole list of people that we need to talk to. There's so many different versions of an outcome that can come through this. So, but that's why this is the pseudo version, because this wants to know if they open the email, if they click the link. So obviously, in terms of testing branches, this is going to take me an immensely larger amount of time. But as I just showed you, there is a very convenient way to do that now that does not include, which I highly recommend if you're doing an email campaign, to send test emails to yourself to make sure you know what they look like. But in terms of testing paths, this did not exist before, and it's the coolest thing I've found in recent months. So I hope that this was a very helpful tutorial. And if you are interested in either getting PARDOT, using PARDOT, being able to see if PARDOT is right for you, go ahead and click the link below and fill out the form. If you have another video that you want to request, please write that in the comments. I am more than happy to post videos that are requested. If you want to know something else about PARDOT, this is a huge platform with lots of things. Each one of these tabs has a laundry list of things that you can do with it. So just because I'm only showing you Engagement Studio doesn't mean that this couldn't create an entire series in and of itself. So let me know what you want to see. And honestly, if you like the content, subscribe, and let's keep going on this journey together, because I'm going to keep posting about the cool stuff I find out about Salesforce and Salesforce related products. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.